Don't worry, it wasn't Y2K compatible anyhow. Hey, I'm Metal Matt with Queensyche, and you know, I've been stressing pretty hard on this Y2K issue. I mean, I've been storing water and food and stashing it under our house. Unfortunately, it's only a crawl space, but hey, that's better than nothing. I'm thinking. So, you know, what I'm thinking is we gotta get ready for this problem, and I think I have the solution for Y2K. What becomes before Y? Q. Q2K. Queensryche 2000, baby. That's right, we got a show with Queensryche's Jeff Tate and new guitarist Kelly Gray this month. We shot the entire show. Sorry, I can't let you see the whole thing, but we're going to show you the best 20 minutes of live footage from Queensryche's big show down in San Jose Event Center on CC Rock this month, so don't go away. Hey, what's this? Who cares?
There's a phrase I like to hide, but go away, got out run through the night. Well, I shot you were there, but only didn't realize you were scared. It's the best way you were there to face your fears, trace the years, to ride the winds of your mind. Landing in another world, suddenly you hear and see it's like a new dimension. We'll be watching over you. I'm gonna help you see it through. We'll protect you at night. I'm standing next to you.
Back to CC Rock. You know, I went to San Jose State when I was younger, and I spent many a days looking out my dorm window and looking at a facility being built. A dusty hole it was at one time when I was there, but today it's a nice facility called San Jose State Event Center. And today I'm with two principal members of Queensryche who are tonight playing here at the Event Center. How you guys doing?
Doing great. Nice to be here.
Well, I'm doing a lot better now that I'm out of college here, and I never got to enjoy this facility too much, but tonight should be very enjoyable, I imagine. You guys have just started the Q2K tour. Tell me about the new album. I mean, it's the first album with Kelly Gray, who is now a principal producer, guitarist on the album.
That's right, yeah. Kelly joined sometime in '98, I guess it was, and we began working on the record. It's kind of a weird story how it happened. We had been out on tour with Here in the Now Frontier, our last album, and we had stopped in Seattle to do a radio show, and Kelly was engineering that show, and we kind of met up with him. We hadn't seen him in a while, and he'd had quite a producing career on his own with bands like Candlebox and Brother Kane, Sweaty Nipples. Can you say nipples on TV? I suppose you can.
Did you say sweaty nipples?
Sweaty Nipples, yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
And so this is when Chris was still in the band, and we had made plans at that time to start making a record with Kelly in the fall once we got off tour, with him co-producing it. So we finished the tour, we got home, and then Chris sort of disappeared for a couple months and ended up him quitting the band. And then about a month later, I called Kelly up and said, hey, what are you doing? He goes, oh, where you guys been? I thought we were going to make a record. And I said, well...
Looking for Chris.
Yeah. I said, Chris had quit the band, and he was really shocked. And he said, what are you going to do? And I said, well, we're going to look for another guitar player. You know, need people? And he said, yeah, I got a couple guys that you might want to check out. You know, come over to my house. I'll play you some stuff, you know. So went over to his house. We're sitting there, and he's playing me all these different guitar players. And I'm just sitting there looking at him thinking, Kelly plays guitar. God, so he got him playing me the CDs, and he said, "What do you think?" And I said, "Well, I think that we'd like you to play guitar with us." And he was,
What'd you say, Kelly? What'd you say to that?
I really didn't say anything, actually. I just kind of went, well. Yeah, the bass guy just said, let me a couple days to think about this.
Last night the working down, treading in Chinatown. And I said the only crime was being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Too many people say, what's wrong with the kids today? I tell you right now, they've got nothing to lose. They're building empire. Johnny used to work after school at the set of the show. Gotta hustle if he wants an education. Yeah, he's got a long way to go. Now he's out on the streets all day, selling crap to the people who pay. Got an AK-47 for his best friend. Business the American way. East side, west side, downtown.
I mean, most Queensryche fans want to know the underlying reason you feel. Why did Chris leave? I mean,
well, I wish I could tell you a definite answer, but I really can't.
what do you think? I mean, what's your gut feeling?
Well, I think it was a combination of a couple of different things. One, our longtime record company, EMI, went out of business at a very inappropriate time, right when we released our record. And the sales of our record just stopped. I mean, not only the new record, but all of our records just stopped. And all the, the promotion machine stopped. And you can't sell records without that big machine behind you, And so it really cut into our tour. We toured for 10 weeks on that album, and we normally tour for anywhere between 6 months and 12 months on an album. So considerable difference there, So everything just pretty much bottomed out on us, and we had to you know, at the time we thought, oh, what are we going to do? We've invested all this money in the tour and the show, and okay, we're going to have to regroup, make another record, find another record company, and continue on. And that was the game plan. But, you know, I think it just, for him, I think, I mean, I'm only speculating because I really don't know the real answer. He wasn't too clear on why. I think it was just a lot of work that he wasn't up to doing anymore, you know. He didn't need the money. He's pretty comfortable. He just kind of thought, well, you know, this is a sign, so I'm going to go do my own thing and, you know, say la vie.
All right, we're back. We got a new album called Q2K. This is a song, first track, called Falling Down. On the other side, 'cause I'm here on the inside of blue. Yeah, without you, I'm missing you. Oh yeah. Nothing seems to work as well. My face in the mirror looks like hell. I think I need to see a doctor. I walk so slow and move line by line. Now I can't even think of a word that rhymes. Now it's I'm missing you. Oh yeah. I'm missing you, missing you. Some days it feels just like falling. Some days it seems like falling. Some days it's so real, just like falling. Some days it's easy down.
Kelly brought in that I think was a really refreshing change of pace for us was he recognized the fact that we'd been a band a long time and we're all good players, and he thought that we needed to I don't know, sort of capitalize on that or you know, augment that with the fact that we didn't need to sit there and, you know, record a drum track and then everybody lay onto the tape, you know, track after track and build a song out like that. He wanted to capture the live feel of the band, the immediacy of the band. And so he had this, yeah, and that's something we'd never done before, and that really requires you being a band, you know. So we rehearsed very little, really. We just kind of got together and boom, started writing.
Sounds like more fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was writing and recording at the same time, and his plan really worked well. It was a really fun record to make, and we all sort of clicked, and our chemistry sort of evolved from that, you know. And you know, band is the sum of its ingredients, really. That's the chemistry of the band is the sum of the ingredients of the people involved. So we were kind of letting our chemistry lead us in the writing. We didn't know what we wanted to do. We didn't have a plan. We just sort of wanted to write and see what happens.
What am I afraid of? Everyone's listening. Standing on my soapbox, I lost the beginning. All sweet voices, sweet in your adequate sky. I'm always hearing voices. I know my choice is like a lie. It's just could have been something. Never was a smart kid, never knew a good day. Unseen voices singing beyond any clear sky. Just like all those voices, like no more choices, like the light. It's just I'm always hearing voices like electric shockwaves in the sky. Voices swimming, awesome voices swimming, awesome voices swimming, awesome voices.
Styles evolve, much like Rush in a sense. A lot of bands, they evolve. I mean, they change as time goes by. Do you feel you're taking more of a chance with the evolution? I mean, maybe you're losing some old fans. I mean, we just did an interview with Scorpions. Their new album, much different from past Scorpions albums. Do you ever worry about that side, or is it, just you want to do what you want to do?
Well, I think one thing a lot of people forget is that music is artistic expression. It's not a
Roadmap.
Yeah, it's not a roadmap. Yeah, perfect. It's just what you feel at the time. And every one of our records, I think, has been sort of a statement of where we're at the time. And this one is no different. This is Queensryche 2000 Q2K. And
I think you can only write Queen of the Reich so many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it loses its specialness if you keep trying to duplicate everything all the time. And the best music is music that comes from your heart, and it's inspired by the chemistry of the band. And that's what we've always tried to do. And it may, to the public, it may sound kind of strange, but really writing music and making music is really sort of a selfish endeavor, really. Mm-hmm. It's to please yourselves, the band. And then when it gets put out onto the market, and if it touches somebody, that's great, But it's not something you can think about as a writer, You just really have to follow your heart.
She said she loved me. I guess I never knew, but do we ever really know? She said she'd meet me on the other side, but I knew right then I never found her. I don't believe it, no. I never have, I never will. I don't believe it, no. It's never worth the pain that you feel.
Well, with Mindcrime, Operation Mindcrime, I mean, that was, I must say, probably the, almost, well, I'd say the pinnacle, because Empires was probably the pinnacle point as far as yet. But you played a show over here at the San Jose Civic. I remember I was doing finals that night, and I drove down my bicycle, and it was packed. I couldn't get in. And that album, is it anti-Catholic? I mean, I've had some comments from people saying that was one of the questions they wanted to know on CC Rock, so I'm trying to answer it for them. Is it anti? Are you guys? Are you Catholic?
No, I'm not any religion.
Was that album kind of anti-Catholic in a sense, would you say, or is it? Was any feeling of all of that?
I think it's probably anti-religion. You know, I'm not a religious person. I consider myself a spiritual person, but I don't follow any of the sort of man-made religions. I don't believe in that, and I've done a lot of studying in that respect to how things were put together, the history of religions, the history of Christianity, Islam, all those things, and I think I've got a pretty good handle on what my belief system is. But that record, Operation Mindcrime, was about 3 or 4 characters, and one of them just happened to be a nun in a Catholic church, and so there are some things that go on within the story that may make people think that is anti-Catholic, but I don't think it is really.
Always there. Every time I cry, your name and I, you pull close and say it's alright. I look in your eyes, just like the rain, watching me rain wash over me. Touching your face, I feel the heat of your heartbeat with my head like a string. A part missing from my life. I wonder where I'd be without your love. It's holding me together now. I'm watching the time tick away. My face grows longer every day. The fortunes are lost on the women I've seen, but without you
changed since that time period of walking on a stage, opening for Dio to now? Do you still have the same philosophy, or?
No, I don't think so. I think your philosophies change as you grow and, experience more and more stuff, really. that was a great opportunity for us. Ronnie James Dio was and is quite a gentleman and has always treated us well whenever we've had any kind of contact with him. He was a great person to open up for because he always treated his opening acts really well. And that was our first experience on the road, so it was like, we didn't know any better,
It seemed like every show should be like that, right?
Yeah. Until we toured with, Quiet Riot, which was a complete opposite sort of situation.
Oh.
Yeah, but that was our first tour, 1983, I think it was. Yeah, that was really fun.
Behind my stare, I bet you're wondering. I bet you're wondering what's behind my stare. Are you ready?